Welcome back to Forecasting with Phil. On today's episode, we're going to be cooking up the best demand forecast you've ever tasted. Now, before we get started, I just want to say I've been demand forecasting for a long time. So if your demand forecasts don't turn out like my demand forecast, have patience. It takes practice and you gotta do the work, but it will get there. And if you follow my steps, you'll have a perfect demand forecast every time. Let's get started. The key to any good demand forecast is high quality sales history. You don't want to skimp out and get the cheapest stuff you can buy. I really can't recommend how much going to a local butcher and getting yourself some high quality, locally sourced, organic, grass-fed sales history. It's going to make all the difference. Now, if you just take that sales history and dunk it straight into the forecast, you're gonna ruin it every single time. It is so important to cleanse your sales history. We're looking for anything in our sales history that we don't want going forward, whether this is store construction or COVID-related trends. We just wanna cut it right out of it. Now, my other little trick that I love to do is take some good quality inventory history and use that to cleanse your sales history. What that's gonna do is look backwards to see if there were any periods where maybe you weren't selling things because you were stocked out. We call that lost sales, and it really elevates the dish. Okay, once we're done cleansing our sales history, we're gonna divide it into two pieces. We want to keep the freshest and most recent part for a trend analysis while putting the rest of this to simmer on low heat. Now that we've divided our sales history into the historical data and the recent trend, we're going to grill our recent trend up on an open flame for a few seconds, really intense, really fast. What this is going to do is it just provides an excellent rich flavor where we can compare the recent trend to the historical seasonality and understand how those two really balance each other out. Now, when the recent trend is done, we're just gonna put that into the pot as well to simmer. Now that we've added in our recent trend and sales history, we're gonna start layering in some of that critical business knowledge. We've got new product launches, new stores opening, and new initiatives that are really gonna critically make such a flavorful part of that forecast. Just goes right into the pot. Now we're just gonna stir in some of our seasonality and elasticity and volatility into the forecast to really round it out. And one of my personal favorite things to add to a forecast are bay leaves. It just really makes it more lemony and flavorful. Now the secret sauce of a good forecast is how these ingredients are all blended together. You can use linear regression, you could use multiple different models, and my preference is a little bit of machine learning. Here we are just mixing it all together, and we're gonna let that simmer for a few hours. There's lots of different types of forecasts you can make, and this is a solid 6-month forecast. If you bring this dish to a dinner party, people will remember you. That just smells so good. My tummy's beginning to rumble, and I have a team of angry VPs waiting for the latest forecasts. So I will see you next time on Forecasting with Phil.